Good evening, Facebook family. Good evening, Chicago. Good evening to the people across America, even across the world, y'all. I'm gonna wait till you guys come on, niggas. I'm pretty sure everybody been heard about what was going on. Yes, I got the paperwork. I got people surrounding me, and I'm trying not to laugh.
Shout out to your supporters.
Shout out to my supporters. They are here at the courthouse. You better wait. You better. They are here at the courthouse. Jen just left, and so did Jeremy, y'all. So real quick, I want to clear this up on what really just went down in this courthouse or in the courtroom, whatever the case may be. With me, myself, Rena,
I was there.
Jedediah, and the Torah was sitting in the hallway. See y'all later, Queen. See y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Us four was sitting in the hallway right outside of the courtroom. And then Greg approaches me, and I put my foot out, and I said, Greg, give me my personal space. And he's talking about, Lamon, you're disrespectful, you're this and that, you're disrespectful, all this other stuff. And I'm like, Greg, who are you talking to? You know, and he made it clear that he was talking to me. And so I got up, he started walking my way, I started walking his way. He wanted to fight, talking about, do it now. I say, Greg, we could take this outside. We ain't got to do it now. We could take this outside. He didn't want to take it outside, so he wanted to do it right outside of the courtroom. And so, thank you, California. Thank you. Long story short, me and long story short, Greg struck me with his left. What was that? His left hand, right hand. He didn't punch me. He slapped me with his right hand. And when he slapped me, I stood there for a second. I barely moved. Like I was stuck in. We all was just surprised when he hit me. And when he hit me, I was stuck. Like I'm like, oh my goodness, did this man really just put his hands on me? And so after that, I put my phone down. I put everything that I had in my hand down, and I defended myself very well. Very, 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 very well. Let me tell you, Lamon went to work on today. Lamon got hands. Please, don't play with me. Lamon has hands. So just to let you guys know, I don't play around at all, especially when it comes to me defending myself. But it's time to focus on the bigger picture, y'all. We got work to do. It is time for us to focus on what we need to focus on. Greg is locked up at 26 in California in Cook County. He would not be getting out. I will be filing charges. I do have my paperwork. So again, for the people who are catching on, don't know what's going on, Greg put his hand on me one time, and I put both hands on him, and I went to work. Like Rena said, I went to work today. Yes. And so when one of the freedom fighters are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. Don't play no games. And so that's the story, y'all. So I am okay that I am perfectly fine. There is not a scratch on me. Now, Greg, I don't know, because there's something wrong with one of my part of my knuckle. I don't know if he has any physical injuries or not to his face or not. But yeah, that's what happened today.
When a 45-year-old man put his hands on an 18-year-old, like. Why? I don't know why Greg feels so intimidated by Lamon. I don't know why he feels so intimidated by Jedediah. But, like, freedom fighters stand up, fight back. Yeah. Freedom fighters don't do nothing. Everybody looking at it. Freedom fighters do this. Freedom fighters do that. Oh, now they into this. Now they into that. We didn't do anything. Greg Geer went out of his way. We didn't even have to cross paths. Right. Greg Geer should have went right into that courtroom. Yep. But instead, Greg L. Geer came out of his way to across the hall where we were. And Jedediah asked Greg, why are you over here? Right. Why are you saying anything to him? Right. Greg, he thought this was going to help him, but it didn't. It hurt him. He thought it would help him because he thought he would get an arouse out of us, any of us that was sitting there minding our business, waiting for court to start. He thought he would get an arouse. He's here trying to petition, order protection for Jedediah, but you came over to where Jedediah was. Why?
No reason.
Why did you come? He just should have went straight to that courtroom, but he chose not to. So Greg Geer, he chose to walk across that hall to where we were. He chose to approach this young man, and he had everything in him to try to not interact with Greg Greer.
Yeah.
Lamon really did, and it took a lot for Lamon to do that. But once Greg Greer stood over, he was standing over us. We were sitting on the bench. Greg Greer stood over us. So of course Lamon's gonna feel threatened.
Yep.
Of course Lamon's gonna stand up because, and I'm looking up at Greg. I'm looking. His stomach is here. He's in our face. What are we supposed to do? He's in our face. So Lamon felt threatened. Lamon stood up. Greg wanted what happened.
Yep, he did.
But it hurt him.
He did. So.
God don't like ugly. God won't bless no mess.
Mm-hmm.
He won't.
That's real.
Freedom fighters, stand up, fight back, and that's it.
That's real.
Let people think what they want to think. We don't even respond because we're learning. Every action don't need a reaction. Don't even respond. Let these people think what they want to think. We know, we were there.
Yep.
We know what happened.
Yep.
We seen what happened.
You
see who's charged and who's not charged. Yep. Who's free and who now will be sleeping in a cell tonight.
In California.
So you see what happened. You see what's going on. Lamon defended himself today, and he did very well, and I'm so proud. I'm proud. People get what you sow. You're not going to put your hands on nobody and expect them not to defend themselves. That's not how it works.
That's it.
That's not how it works.
That's it. So y'all clearly know what happened. There's not a scratch on me. But again, I do not know about Bishop Geer, Greg Greer. For the people who are still trying to figure out what happened, long story short, he came over and approached us. He got the nerve to come on over and try to get in my face. I put my foot out, said I need my personal space. Then he walked off, got up, started talking mess, and I said, Greg, you talking about you want to fight in the courthouse? Let's fight outside. And so he didn't want to fight outside. He said, let's do it now. Now, hey, me and him got face to face. He slapped me right here, and I was sitting there and I was stuck. And I put everything that was in my hand. I put everything down. I gave the arena. And the next thing you know, I gave that man a 20-piece from Popeyes with a large fry. That's exactly what I gave him. But when I was fighting him, as I was swinging,
what was going through your mind? No, seriously, what was going through your mind?
When I was hitting him, I'm looking at him like, why do he look so surprised while I'm punching this man in the face? Like, he looked shocked as hell. Like,
and when
he did look shocked.
He had his folder in his hand.
Yes.
He didn't even want to drop it.
And then I was mopping him on the floor. He was on the floor. I had this man on the floor kicking that ass.
You can't just go around putting your hands on people. That man is old enough to be Lamon's dad. That is a 45-year-old grown man who should know better. Gregory, you should know better.
Throw the whole courthouse away. Just give that man a gallon of milk. I hope they give him a lot of milk.
I don't like ugly. And like I stated, Lamon was not charged with anything. Lamon did not go to jail today.
And I don't want going without a fight. And that
will be pressing charges, and we will be going. And guess what? We support our people, so we will be there.
Yep. That first hit is the last hit you get from me in a fight. So y'all, now you guys know what happened. I am perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with me, but I don't know what's wrong with Greg Greer. I will be filing charges against this man. Again, y'all, let's get back on track. Let's get back. Let's focus, y'all. Let's get back on track. Couldn't this hurt your case? I don't have a case. So it didn't hurt nothing.
He was assaulted.
That was battery. That was battery. So Greg Greer know not to put your hands on an 18-year-old. Again, I may be skinny, I may be tall, but I got these hands. Let's be clear about that. So again, y'all, let's stay focused. Let's get back to the assignment. Let's get back to what we need to do. Let's continue to strive. Let's continue to be motivated. We are not doing this for perfection, but we are doing this for progress to fight for the right cause. So again, y'all, let's stay focused. Let's get back on track. Peace and love over violence and corruption. Peace and love over violence and corruption. Peace and love over violence and corruption. No matter what situation you go through, always remember that somebody's dealing with a situation worse than what you're dealing with. So see you guys in the next live video.
So I'm going to go ahead and just say a few words. I'm not going to be on here long. It's kind of late. And obviously, y'all know I had a very long day. I am more confident than ever that we as a community have to stand together and hold our leadership accountable. It's not okay. I'm going to say this again. It's not okay when people are manipulating people's rights, oppressing people, treating people any kind of way, people who are threatening people, Today was an unfortunate situation for me. I let the moment get the best of me. And I'm dealing with that. But I will say one thing. I am very, very, very serious at this point in time that it is time for us as a community to start holding those who act outside of our interests responsible and accountable. It is very important that we start calling out these fake leaders, these fake faith leaders, these fake people who are holding our community back. It's time that we are letting folks know who they are. If we are acting if we are acting and doing the right thing, you would see it. But that's why we don't see it in the streets, because you got a bunch of people who want to oppress people, who want to do the wrong thing. I'm trying to pick and choose my words very wisely. It's very, very critical at this time. Yes, it is unfortunate that today I did let the best of my emotions get a hold of me. And I regret the fact that I did that. But at the same time, folks have been threatened. Folks are being harassed. Young ladies are being threatened. Women are being threatened and harassed. And I would be less of a man if I were to allow that to continue going on. So what I'm saying to you is I'm saying to you very clearly that it is time that we start things in perspective. In every last case that I've seen over the course of the last few months, you have people who are taking advantage of the situation. You got folks out there making a profit. We know they are. We know who are manipulating and using people in the purposes of civil rights and saying that they're doing it in the name of God. We know they are. We don't have to even look far. But what I'm saying to you is I can't allow that. I can't sit back and allow that to happen. We are going to stand up. We're going to hold these people accountable, and we're going to continue calling out these leaders no matter who they are. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, as long as I'm doing what God wants me to do, it's immaterial to me who is displeased, because I'm doing God's work. So I don't need anybody to validate me. I don't need anybody to validate Geer. Just know that. And yes, again, we would hope that in an ideal world that the community can come together, all these activists in Chicago. I tell you, we start with Chicago alone, even though our network is all around the country. But let's talk about Chicago. I don't have to say it. Look and see what's going on in the streets. Where is the leadership? Check what we're doing. Check our record. We are out there in sincerity. We're out there in power. We're out there in strength. We have 20 groups, 20 networks going strong all over the country, and then some outside the country. And when I say to you that right now is the time, those who want to manipulate, those who want to make statements, those who want to hide behind activism, you're going to be called out. Yes, it is about unity. Yes, it is about doing the right thing. But at the same time, we're not going to run from anybody who's an oppressor. We're not going to hide from anybody who's abusing the system. We're not going to allow anybody to just use us. Again, I'm going to say women have been threatened. Check the results. Check the records. Freedom First International is moving. We are working with very progressive-minded individuals, and we are fighting for justice around the country. We're going to let those who want to hate, let them hate.